Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. We are excited to be here with you today to talk about how to care for your lashes and how to prep the lashes when your brand new ones arrive. So my name is Stephanie Pipke-Paincho. I am a director of influence with Tori Belle, and this is
Tracy Dickey. Tracy Dickey, and I am a senior influencer with Tori Belle.
And we are coming at you live through StreamYard. So if you're catching this live, it has the little orange live button in the top left-hand corner. Do hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. We can see your comments as they come in through StreamYard, so we can feature them on the screen. So let us know if you have any questions. We are going to do a very quick overview of what to do when your brand new Tori Belle lashes arrive and you want to put them on, because there's a few things and a few tips that if you do those, it makes them much easier to shape to your eye. So when you get them, they're pretty straight across the band, and you want to do what's called the bend and roll technique. So Tracy and I are going to talk to you a little bit about that. And I pulled a set of Wonder Lash here. And when you get them, you'll see they have the anchors along the top, and Wonder Lash starts with a little bit shorter, wrong way on StreamYard, on the inside, and then a little bit longer on the outside. So that's more of a cat eye effect. And I know Tracy has a pair of...
I have a pair of the Coffee House lashes. So Coffee House is one of our lashes that has a little bit of brown and a little bit of black in it. And it too, as you can see, has all of the anchors. It has a doe eye, so there are a few shorter lashes in the corner, but they're fairly even all the way across. And as you can see, they are fairly straight. So the band just along the top here, and when they come out of that box, they are pretty straight. And everybody's eyes are different, but often we have to round them to shape them to our own eye.
So the best way to do that is as soon as you have a pair of lashes that you're ready to put on, we ask you to do what's called a gentle bend to the band. So the band is this part of the lash along here, and you can see maybe... I'll have to get a different camera angle going for the close-up, but you can see there's magnets on there. And so what you want to do is gently start at one end, and between the magnets, the band is a bit thinner, so then just take it and bend it. So Tracy and I will demo at the same time how you can bend your lashes. It's hard to do without getting your fingers really close. Sometimes I kind of use my thumbnail just in between and just push gently up from there. And what you're doing is just loosening the band so that it's easier. The ones that you really want to work are the ones at the inside corner and the outside corner, because those are the ones that tend to lift most frequently in those first 3 days. So it takes usually about 2 to 3 days before your lashes shape to the shape of your eye and stay shaped that way. So the other thing that you can do, Tracy, do you want to talk to them about this was the bend, now there's the roll.
So what I do every time, regardless of how many times I've worn my lashes, is I roll them just before I put them on. So my liner's gone on and I'm ready to apply my lashes. So I just take them on either corner and I just give them a gentle roll as they come out of the box. And then you can see already that this has a nice shape as compared to when it first came out of that box. And so as you can see, the box has a magnet to hold the lash onto when you're not using your lashes, when they're not on your face. And there's a magnet there for them to stick to, but it does flatten the lash out again a little bit. And like Steph said, for me as well, it's about 3 wears before they take the shape right to my eye, and then I get a nice secure fit.
So that is the very first step that we would recommend. The other thing that I would recommend is always wash your hands really well before you start touching the lashes. They will last longer if you have less oil on your hands or just the buildup of touching things during the day. So washing your hands before you touch the lashes eliminates any oils getting on the lashes. We don't want to touch the lashes a lot. We want to leave them alone as much as we can, or touch them as little as possible. So in those first few days, I do the bending in between each magnet, and then I do the rolling. So it's the bend and the roll off the start. That makes a big difference. Then what you can do next is if you put them on and they're a little bit long. So when we talk about them being long, not the length of the lashes, but the width of them, if the lash goes out past the end of your eye, you probably need to trim them. And what we find with the 10 magnets and even with the 6 is that they are just too wide depending on the eye or the shape of your eye, and you need to cut a few magnets off. So there are a couple things to remember before you cut. You always want to make sure you try it with the 10 magnets first, unless you've worn the lashes quite a few times and you know exactly how many you want to trim off. So what you would do is just line them up. And I have a pair of Wonder Lash on, so these hopped on pretty quick, but I would check to see if they're a little bit long. So if they're coming out more on the side, then I know I need to trim a few of them off on the end. You'll notice depending on the type of lash, you might need to take just one magnet or you might need 2 magnets. Sometimes it depends on the style. And there's a couple things to think about when you go to trim the lash. So part of it is how you put it in the box. So when they arrive, this is a tip that I learned from Mindy, is when they arrive, if the lashes aren't facing you, I would turn them around so that when you look at them, the lashes line up. I'm trying to think if they line up, so how they would go on your face. Now, you might think that's not a big deal, but when you go to trim them, it's important to keep them straight. Usually you want to trim, sorry, this is just a little ribbon to help open the box. Usually you want to trim from the outside edge and leave the shorter ones on the inside, but you can choose to trim from the inside depending on your eye shape, depending what you prefer. I personally try to trim from the outside edge. So the reason that this is important, how you place them in the box, is if you look at Tracy's lashes, the Coffee House or the doe lash, so they are the same on both sides. So the length, it's hard to tell which is the inside and the outside. So when you pick one to trim, you want to make sure you know which eye it's going on so that you trim it the correct way. So in this case, I'm going to take the one that goes on my left eye here. And so I take that out of the box, I would line it up and I'd say, okay, I think I need to trim it. If it's your very first time, what I would suggest is just start with 1 magnet at a time and then work until you find the length. So trim 1 magnet, try it on. What I like to do is, while I'm holding it here, I like to know kind of trim right on the inside edge or the outside edge of the next magnet. So don't trim just kind of in the middle of the magnet. I always try to move the scissors, and please make sure the scissors are sharp. The other thing that I like to use are cuticle trimmers because they have a nice flat side, so I can match them up really close with the magnet. And then
I'm super fancy. I use nail trimmers.
And so what I like to do is once I know which one I'm trimming, and the Wonder Lash is easier because I can easily tell this is the outside edge, I like to flip it over. And then, especially on lashes where I'm not really sure which side, I make sure that I'm holding the side that I want to trim off on this side. And then I would take the flat edge of these cuticle trimmers or the nail clippers, and I would just come in here and then line that up. It's hard to see from here. And just one good click through. And I find if I come in from the back, then I don't accidentally trim any of the lashes on the front. If I try to come in from here, I'm going to cut some of the lashes when we come in, and we don't want to trim off any of those. So I come in from the bottom, I use my fingers so I know exactly where I'm trimming and I don't get mixed up. And then I just come in and trim them off. You can use those extra pieces. You can save them. They can be anchors. They can go on the outside edges to add that little bit extra flair. Tracy, any other tips to go with that?
No, I do the exact same thing as Steph, only I use just a nail clipper, and notoriously my extra gets stuck just inside, so it catches the magnet, magnetizes to the clipper, and yeah, I just throw it back in my lash box, and then I have it there if I just want to add that little bit on top on the outside edge for a little more flair.
So basically, bend and roll, that's the go-to thing that you should do. Make sure you shake your liner, whether it's the Made in the USA or the Classic. Shake it really, really well. So like really shake it, not just roll it, really shake it, get that all the iron oxide particles mixed up. Then I would try it. If you think that it's too long, then I would go about trimming it. But when you're done with one lash, put it back in the box. Pick out the next one, decide where you're trimming, and then trim it. So you want to trim on, if you're trimming the outsides, trim the outsides of both. You want to make sure that your lashes match in the end. And I was just going, these are the mink. They were a limited edition at Christmas, and they're very long. And you can tell if I put these on, they go really wide on my face. So they're coming down the side. So that would be an example of why I really need to trim those lashes back, because it looks like part of my lash is going out the side of my eye there. So they are extra long. So I would just make sure to trim on the outside edge. Couple
If
other
you're
reminders.
sorry, if you're having trouble with lifting as well, especially on that outside corner, chances are you need to trim a magnet, and that has solved a lot of problems for a lot of people. And where you want to place your lash, where you start your lash, so you can see today I've started mine like right where the colored part of my pupil starts, and that's typically where I start mine. There are some girls who start right in the corner. And it just kind of depends the fit and the feel that you want. I find when I start a little bit further back, I can continue that liner down into the corner if I want that look. But today I've got, I can't wink and do this backwards, but anyways, I have made in USA liner, so I went with a fairly natural look. So I have anchors on underneath, and I'm sure one of the other girls is going to talk about that, but just depending on where you want those to sit. So really give it a good try. If you are having trouble with lifting, you might want to give the trimming a try, and it'll help just those lashes sit where they're supposed to.
Yes, I would say the same thing for me. If I had a set of fantasy lashes and they go a little bit longer and I thought, well, they look okay, but at the end of the day, just from blinking or moving my face, they would lift a little bit there, or the pressure here would cause the inside to lift a little bit. I'm just wearing the classic classic liner today with, what do I have on? Winter Wonder Lash. So they're a little bit red. I'm not sure if that shows up in the video. Caring for your lashes at night, when you take them off, Penny's going to talk to you about that tonight. So watch for the video on how to take that off, the Shake It Off remover. You can use your fingernail to clean any of the residue off of the magnets. Never get your lashes wet. If you get them wet, it decreases the lifespan of the lashes. So that also includes, don't open the dishwasher and put your head right over so that you get a really good steam with your lashes on, or if you're opening the boiling water with the spaghetti in it and you stick your face in there, it will get them damp and moist. So be careful with your lashes, keep them dry. Don't use any products to clean the lashes themselves. Use your fingernail. Penny will show you more of that tonight. And always put them back in the box so you know where they are. The other option is, if you don't want a whole bunch of lash boxes, we do have these little lash trays. So you can actually put the lash around it and they go inside, just like Tracy has there.
So this is our magnetic compact. We have a number of products that's upside down. We have a number of products that are have been innovations by Laura that have come out and continue to come out. And one of them are our lash discs. So the discs are designed so that your lashes go around the outside. Several sets of lashes could go in one of these compacts. The compact is available on its own. It also does come with our foundation, which I think one of the other girls is talking about as well as we get going with our party. So Steph's got one of the lashes there. I think for myself, I would probably mark the inside of the disc with what type of lash, just so that I knew what I was putting on my face. But as you get to know your favorites, you will experiment with different styles, and then the lash just sticks to the outside. And if you wear the anchors, then the anchors, just like Steph's just showing there, go right on the inside, and then you don't lose those anchors. So this is a great compact. It comes, the clutch comes on its own, and then there is an accessory pack. So the accessory pack comes with the 4 discs. It comes with a plastic applicator.
And I think Joel's going to go over that as well tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then the little tube that will hold your liner, and you're good to go.
So watch for Jolene's video tomorrow. She's going to talk about the clutch and all of the amazing goodies that go inside of it, because it's going to save you space and make it super easy to travel or do your makeup and eliminate all of those extra things. So we hope that these lash tips have been helpful. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions. Have a great evening, everybody.
Bye-bye.